I was a sailor. I was born upon the tide, and with the sea I did abide. I sailed a schooner round the Horn of Mexico. I went aloft and furled the mainsail in a blow. And when the yards broke off, they said that I got killed. But I am living still. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen out there in YouTube land. I am Deleted Scenes, and I would like to welcome you to the other side of midnight. I am a human being, I am an American, and I am the YouTube Ronin. Some friends have already joined us in the chat. The first one here at 6:15 p.m. That's cheating. JPRPH1. Channel member John Doe Juggalo is in the house. Tired midnight blogger himself, Curtis Selby. Fluff Chick Productions is here. She of the smoldering new avatar, Netters Network. Doling out the high sweeties. Logical Spark is here. Yes, different Ronin. D. Pensac. Believe it or not, I have talked several people into joining me for this show. I hope they're not armed. But they might be. Will this be my last broadcast? Something last call dark side.
I was promised cake. That's all I know. Are you saying the cake is a lie?
The cake was misrepresented, yes.
I'm sure. There we go.
Faithful Blue Wrench. Channel member. The Bird Woman of YouTube. Watch out for her second channel, Fluff Chick Productions. It's Connie Clary.
I was promised hot chocolate with moonshine in it. Butterscotch.
Ooh.
And hello.
Damn it! All right, Hayes, what were you promised?
I don't know.
Make up something.
Popcorn.
That could be arranged.
Yeah, you can.
My partner in crime, Outlaw Beer. Who hopefully can hear us.
Whoa.
Oh, there you are.
Where's my 52 Vestal Virgins?
Oh, jeez.
Hell.
I can
It really still
explain.
is my birthday, you know.
They couldn't find that many.
Mm.
You're lucky.
I
you're
found
lucky
some.
found one.
And then they weren't anymore.
Hmm.
And you see. Uses. Good to see you. And Cyberpunk Dystopia. Okay. Yeah. Well, okay, that was the show. I want to thank everybody for being here. Thank you. Good night. It was a good one. Thank you. Probably the best show I have ever done. Thank you all for being here. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. No.
I did feel like it ran a little long.
Yeah, I did.
What's the difference between 52 and 72 virgins? 20.
Whether or
Yeah.
not they're able to drink.
You gotta go hold it too.
Yeah, well,
Maybe.
Oh, the drinking usually fixes that.
Mm-hmm.
This is the most chillingest of chill streams. Yeah. Be very quiet and talk in whispers. Like this will be
be very,
Very
very
quiet.
quiet. We are hunting rabbits.
oh
Or hunting Elmer.
boy.
Because it's rabbit season.
Duck
Duck
season.
season!
Rabbit season.
Duck
Duck
season.
season!
Duck season. Shoot me now.
Elmer season!
Elmer season.
Elmer season. And the look on his face is like, oh no. Oh, fiddlesticks.
You see, that seems to be the latest. I identify as. I saw a recent news outlet talking to some pink-haired weirdo saying that you can now identify as a season, and someone put out a meme responding to that guy up in a hunting blind saying, "Well, I identify as deer season." See how that works?
Mhm.
Yeah. I'm a deer. Oh, great. Yeah, come on out here. Just pass by my hunter blind. Yeah, we good. Anywho, yeah. All right. Oh, so
On that
been quite a week.
Yeah, you had some
Yeah.
weather.
Yeah, we did. Shame no one at the White House seems to think so. But
Well, they're too busy focusing on, things going on in, Western Europe and the Middle East, and not caring too much about what's going on around here.
no. And all right. Hello to David Quintana.
Go Broncos,
He's
huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
10-9 was bad, but it's a win. Yeah, I heard that was a rather boring,
It was.
overly long game. Sounds like it was more of a defensive game than anything else.
for why some of it was.
Yeah. And hello to Dave C. Deep Insect going, wait, there are people at the White House?
They're
believe
there.
it
They're
or
not
not,
actually doing anything useful.
yeah.
They're there.
They're
Yeah,
there.
they're physically.
There. Yes, I understand you will be there physically, but tomorrow morning he's going to have to lead those men. We need Donnie Wahlberg in here and just give everybody that speech. All
There we
right.
go.
Ace Fraggle says it's lurking season. Well,
Season.
feel free to lurk,
Hang
Troy. Have fun.
Enjoy.
Good to see you. All right. Yeah.
As-
So just
Hey,
it's the
last
kind
call, or some, as some people know me, hey, you in the bushes.
I'm leaving that one alone.
Okay. I would like to remind you that you are within throwing distance.
That is true.
Yeah.
Didn't what's his name spend plenty of time at his tower? Well, I'm sure plenty of people have spent plenty of time in plenty of places. Anyway, just to let everybody kind of know what happened here in my neck of the woods. There was some rain, not as much as you would think. There was a lot of wind, and that's what did most of whatever damage there was. It's one of those situations where it was kind of weird. Like you could have power, but your neighbor won't, or one side of the street will be out, but you're fine. There are people who are in need of aid. Obviously, North Carolina and Florida got the worst of it, near as I can tell. But in comparison, we pretty much got through it okay. Like I said, it really kind of depends on what area you're in. But as far as my immediate area, the last hurricane was definitely far worse. As far as that was concerned. But hey, just speaking for myself here. Anyway. So. Hey guys, no, jump in. How was it with you guys? How's it going?
Live well, kicking and screaming.
I mean, I've had 3 days of rainy weather. I'm pretty sure it's like the upper edge of what you guys are getting, but it was just mild rain. It wasn't any kind of storm or anything like that.
Yeah, I got the same weather you have.
Mm-hmm.
I'm right there on Lake Erie.
And what do you have there, Mr. Hayes? Going back to the spider theme.
I was just gonna say the spider
Yeah.
weekend. Yeah, exactly. That is kind of cool, actually.
It
And
is.
it's a Halloween decoration.
I
Where'd
love
you get it?
that.
Cool.
What store, Tim?
It's been hot where I'm at.
I'm sure.
Sure. Yeah, what store did you get
Yeah.
that from, Tim?
It was CVS.
Okay.
Cool.
Oh, right on.
Oh, that's terrible.
Yeah.
Cool.
Well,
All right,
knock on
so-
wood there.
Oh, indeed, yeah. No, I didn't lose power either. Around it flickered on and off a couple of times around 3 a.m. But that was about it. I don't think I ever completely lost power for any long period of time. Spider! Yes. Yeah, I mean, we got kind of a spider theme going on here. Eight-legged freaks last night. And Troy, you're going to have
Arachnophobia and Kingdom of Spiders. Tomorrow night, yeah.
Indeed. And that's going to be 9 Eastern, 8 Central, correct?
Yep, exactly.
Cool. All right.
And it's the last day of September, but I feel like that kind of kicks off the whole Halloween thing.
Oh, definitely. Definitely. I know Bill's definitely got some stuff in the pipeline that'll be Halloween related, I'm sure. Yeah. So anything you want to give away just now, Bill, or would you prefer to kind of wait and make it more of a surprise?
Yeah, more of a surprise.
Okay, fair enough. But definitely some stuff going on in the background that I'm sure will be very fun for everyone. And hello to Taylor Swift, Greater Than Disney. David Quintana says, "Damn Chiefs! I guess the Chiefs lost, or were they who?" So, all right, all right. It's been brought up a couple of times here in the chat. Bill, Connie, you two seem to have watched today's game. Why don't you give us a kind of a brief breakdown of what was apparently the greatest football game ever played?
I know the boring one was the Jets game. It's like, There's definitely some close called ones. I know my Steelers.
Well, they're all poorly called, Connie.
Yeah. I know my Pittsburgh came back, but they didn't win. They're 2-1 now. They came back in the second half, so it was something.
David says, I hear the Packers versus the Vikings wasn't bad. I don't know. I didn't see any of the games, folks, so, you're just as... I'll take your word for it.
Yeah, for what I saw, that wasn't a bad game at all.
Fraggle says, Halloween is my favorite holiday. Honestly, it's mine, too.
Same here, Mike. That's my holiday decorations.
And hopefully I will get some trick-or-treaters to my house this year. Because there seem to be less and less every year, which I'm...
For me, I'm getting more and more.
Mm.
The first year I started, I had like almost 60. Then grew to, as of last year, was over almost 130. And they ain't bad for 2 hours.
It says Monday Night Football has a doubleheader now. Okay, fair enough. Depends. Says, love those Vincent's Beasto decorations for Halloween. Cool. This is usually just the one game. Yeah, I recall it usually just being the one. I don't know. It's all. I haven't watched football in years, honestly, so I don't know who's doing what anymore. But that's me.
Mm-hmm.
Anywho. So, jump in, folks. Open topic, panel, chat. Show is yours tonight.
Physically or mentally?
Tim has something.
Error.
Here in the
Terror
Isles.
in the Isles. Yes.
Oh, there you
on
go.
Blu-ray.
Nice. Okay. Mark of the
Mark of the
Vampire.
Vampire. Yeah.
Cool.
Lionel Barrymore.
Nice.
Definitely Hollywood royalty.
Some fine physical media there.
Yeah.
Well, one thing that I wanted to run by everyone, since I do have everyone here, the hell with it, I'll just ask on the air. I have been wanting to do another physical media episode, and I was wondering, for those of you, let me know who's interested, who wants to be on for that. And I know Tim definitely does. I'm sure Bill will. And really, I wanted to ask this of Troy, of you and Netter as well, because obviously you have a rather extensive
we do. We
collection.
have a lot of DVDs. What's the more narrow topic?
Well, it wasn't so much a narrow topic necessarily. That's something we could always discuss off screen, I guess. But I was kind of looking for anybody who might be interested in jumping in and doing a show like that.
Yeah, probably.
You know, sometime in the next couple of weeks or so.
Sure.
And yeah, because I know I'm talking to a group of people who are very much in supporters of physical media. So and sometimes I'm just curious as to what some of you guys have. So, and I go ahead, Connie. Sorry.
I do have some. I don't mind jumping on, but I have a good portion of it's horror though too.
Oh yeah, that's good too. Well, we could always. Yeah, let's do it that way. We could do like a Halloween physical media month.
Sure.
We could do that. Let me see. Let me pull that up there, Tim. Oh, I don't know that one.
I've heard of it.
It's basically an Italian version of The Exorcist, but pretty sleazed up Italian version of The Exorcist.
Yeah.
Oh. Okay. Wow. Who died?
I don't know that.
Who died? I didn't do it.
Okay. Let's try and stay in one piece for the show. Thank you. I don't know that one.
It's also called The Tempter.
Oh.
Is that the one with what's his name? Willem Dafoe?
No.
This is from the 70s. This is from the 70s. 1974. Mel Ferrer's in this one, and Arthur Kennedy.
No, honestly, the Willem Dafoe Antichrist, I stayed away from that movie kind of on purpose because I don't think I would make it through the whole thing. I have never watched a Lars von Trier movie from beginning to end. But that's just me. What is physical media? It exists. Yeah. Refer it over to Scary Movie Series. And hello to DJ Ronnie G. Good to see you, sir.
DJ.
Hello to Gorillas Random Thoughts. Hey, keep it down. I'm trying to sleep. Yeah, okay. Welcome to the Low Key show on my channel. Everything is calmer and we enjoy watching paint dry and grass grow and, Mr. Trevino is about to sink this putt, so it can be very quiet. Sound like this for the rest of the evening. And hello to Septigism. Long time no see, sir. There's that one scene in that Defoe Antichrist that got a lot of press. Ew. Yes. That's what I'm trying to avoid. Okay, let me blow you up here, Tim. Is that dementia. Okay.
It's also known as Daughter of Horror. It's the movie that they're watching in the movie theater and The Blob.
Ah.
Oh.
Nice.
Well, the Daughter of Horror cut I think is the version that they're watching in the movie theater and The Blob, starring Steve McQueen.
Mm-hmm.
Another one.
Space Fraggle asking. Go ahead. Sorry.
Dead Space.
Dead Space.
Yeah, this is a bit of a remake of Forbidden World.
Hey, what happened? Why would it get muted?
Oh, sorry. I was getting some feedback there. I didn't know who that was. Okay.
I see how it is.
Can everybody hear? Hello?
Yeah.
Yes.
Hello? Hello?
Yes,
okay.
hello.
Okay.
Honey, we're
All
home.
right, I think we're okay. All right. Sorry. There's some audio issues here. All right. Space Fraggle's asking, has anyone seen a Subspecies? Honestly, you would think I would have seen it, but I haven't.
I think I saw that when it came out on VHS. I don't remember it very well, though.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it is a vampire movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think there's like 6 or 7 of them now. I heard they might be making another one.
Yeah, that's what I heard too.
Yeah. This is there you go. You can do a watch party to protest movie Paint Drying, made in 2016. It's only 16 hours long. Yeah, they joke a lot about that one on the Letterboxd app.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if they get us, they get us. They're gonna come after me anyway.
Yeah, my mom's watching TV.
And hello to Daniel Barry Sports Highlights. But I bring this up because I want to do like a physical media segment, and just go on and just take stuff off my shelf and, kind of do these. I want to start doing like shorter form videos, and I figured that's kind of like that would be like a decent jumping off point for that. But we'll see. Kind of depends on again what kind of time I have, and do I do them on the day? Should I record a bunch of them? And I don't know. And I want to do stuff more member related too. Because I kind of feel like I'm neglecting the channel members a bit because I haven't done anything in a while.
Same
But
here.
I don't want to just do like some random live stream and leave it at that. I want to do something a little bit different, and maybe making videos that are members only or members first. I know there's been a suggestion that I actually like, but I don't know what would happen to me copyright wise, if it would be a strike or not. Would be to read a chapter out of a book per video and just do chapter. I mean, I know people who have done it. I just don't know what the copyright situation on that would be. So that's something I want to investigate and explore.
Safest way to do that is just to make sure that it's something that's in the public domain to begin with. If you read Frankenstein or Dracula, you're fine.
But you think if I read something newer, you think I would probably get hit worse for that? Or I mean, does it specifically have to be public domain or what?
I was going to say, if you read something, a book that's in the public domain, it's in the public domain, so it doesn't matter what you do with it. If you read something that's copywritten, first someone would have to be aware of it and call it to your attention. I don't think that kind of thing is going to be caught by the YT algorithms. The way music and video would be. But yeah, I wouldn't risk it, to be honest with you.
I originally followed this channel because I thought it was going to be deleted scenes from DVD extras. There are channels that do that, though.
There are. That is true. That's right.
Whenever I look for my own channel,
yes,
I have to go through all of these channels that are just deleted scenes from movies and whatnot, so.
Pro tip for you: when you look for your channel, there's an option that you can choose channels. A channel called deleted scenes, and then you'll come up first.
HDM1?
I think HDM2.
Oh, 2. Well, do you know how to get it back? I had it in a...
Yeah.
Keep it.
Well, it doesn't work. Now you got it set to...
Technology with Mr. Hayes. we'll let him sort that out. And, all right, and hello to Darth Plato.
Welcome, Darth Plato.
Hi, Darth.
Don't read Star Wars. Wasn't planning to.
Yeah. Ronnie says they mainly bother if you read the whole book, but keep in mind the idea would be, reading a chapter each time. So ultimately, he would be reading the whole book if that's how he did it.
Because when I back up my DVDs, I always grab the extras nowadays.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And welcome Daniel Barry Sports Highlights over on my channel. Thanks for being here, buddy.
could read acts from plays like Shakespeare. I don't know if I could pull off Shakespeare. I forsooth doth thesses, and we'll see.
I'll tell you what. I had been considering reading like some of Shakespeare's sonnets, and in fact, I was considering doing at least the soliloquy from Hamlet in Klingon.
Oh. That'd be interesting to hear.
That I think that would be kind of fun. I might
Yeah.
I might want to do that. Well, here's the thing too. It would have to be. I'd have to plan out a time to do it. Where I want to film it, I would get in full makeup. So yeah, it would be a bit of an undertaking. So, but I think that would be kind of fun. Maybe it's something I'll do in the new year.
I mean, that got brought up to me as a suggestion, and I like the idea of it. And I have enough books to fill a library, so it's again, I would have plenty of material to work from. I just don't know what the copyright situation would be, even if I kept it to just a members only thing. Would I still, would I still get hit for that? And I don't know, and that's why I'm hesitating. And hello to Joe's Atmosphere. Good to see you, sir.
We're talking about possible future video content. Darth Plato, hark, moveth thine hunk of junk. I think you're a few syllables short of a pentameter there, but good start. And Space Freckle says, that would rock, Troy. Yeah, I'll work on it. I will work on it.
I'm down for it, certainly. But, I mean, that's the thing. That kind of makes me think that maybe I should have waited before I jumped into the whole membership thing. And don't get me wrong, those of you who are members, a couple of years sitting up here right now, I know I've got people in the chat. Fraggle is my latest member. And again, thank you very much. But I feel like I got so hyped over being monetized so quickly.
Yeah.
That I kind of didn't plan ahead, really. And I feel like I should have had more in mind. Let me blow you up, Tim. And I kind of feel like I should have had more in mind before I jumped into it. Like maybe I should have waited. But I don't know. I tell you, my group is pretty chill. For the most part, you guys are pretty chill. So I'm happy that people haven't been on me with like, hey, how come there hasn't been a member stream, or how come, because although I've been talking to people backstage about doing like t-shirts and mugs and stuff, I don't want to do just that. Because everybody does that. It's easy. I want to come up with something that other people aren't doing or aren't doing as much. Yeah. And when that idea was suggested to me of, hey, read a chapter out of a book per video, and I'm like, yeah, I like the idea of that, And I don't know how many people outside of maybe booktubers who are maybe other people although I don't really know anybody in like the booktuber community necessarily. When's the raffle and when's the celebrity interview? The closest I have come to a celebrity interview is when I had Tom Conkle on the show.
Yeah, same here.
You know, and
And didn't you have Tom Connors on
True.
as well? And I think he's the closest thing to a celebrity.
Yeah, okay. You know, certainly within our community, yeah. That's certainly been the closest, but you know, I don't know. After tonight's Unscripted, I don't know how many celebrities would want to come on with me because I kind of raked Hollywood over the coals there big time.
Well, I can't blame you because there's a lot of celebrities I can't stand these days now.
Yeah.
Sherry Curry of the Runaways, I can put up with her pretty well, but that's because she's one of the liberals that walked away from the Democrats.
Yeah. Oh, and thank you, Fraggle. Yeah, I certainly hope I am. I try to be. I try to be entertaining. I try to make every show a little bit different. Unfortunately, with every show, the thing that doesn't change is me. So I get that, delete that deleted guy. You know. In fact, why don't
I didn't do
Oh,
that.
good, he's gone.
I did not do
Let's
that.
take over the show, shall we?
Don't blame me this time, guys.
Don't look at me either.
Oh, it's all your fault, Troy. You know it is.
Maybe we should start taking
You're a
bets.
bad influence, sir.
No, I like to take credit when I did it last week. That was
You did.
intentional.
Maybe we should start taking bets on how many times he does that, or when he mutes himself each stream.
Well, the problem with that is he'll know what we're, because it'll be rigged. He'll know, you know.
Yeah.
But it's not like he's gone. I still see him in the backdrop.
He's in chat.
There he is.
Oh, he's just effing around with us.
Not the death.
There he is.
Yeah, I'm just messing around, guys. All right. Yeah, Gary Ambrosia was awesome. Yeah, that was a good show.
Yeah.
Indeed. Stormy Daniels interview. Guys,
Oh,
I
God.
met her once.
No.
I talked to her for literally about 90 seconds, and that was it. You know. No one I know has a problem with Keanu Reeves. No, I mean, he seems like a genuinely decent guy. Based on everything I've heard about him, I mean...
Same here.
Yeah.
Oh, I
Yeah,
can't
he's-
wait for
he's
Constantine
definitely-
2.
Oh, hell.
Yeah,
We're
yeah.
getting
Hopefully...
Constantine 2.
Yeah.
For a DC character, I do like him.
Hmm.
And I grew up Marvel.
Yeah, that's the thing, you know. People always say DC or Marvel, and it's almost like you have to pick a side. And I'm like, if you are a fan of Marvel, you can like things that are DC, and if you're a DC fan, you can like things that are Marvel.
Exactly.
I don't think there's anything wrong with that. And it's almost like,
Well, DC Comics has got Superman and they got Batman.
well, yeah, and that's
Yeah.
great. But I'm just saying, I think they're trying to. It's almost like trying to gin up some kind of beef between fandoms, and that's something that I get really tired of now, because they're sort of so blatant about it.
So I have famously said that I was always a kind of a DC guy when it came to comics. I was
Mhm.
really into DC, and was extremely disappointed in the very much lack of DC films. We got, the Christopher Reeve Superman, we got Michael Keaton Batman, but there was always this problem that Warner Brothers seemed to have. I used to refer to it as not wanting their peas and carrots to touch on their plate, and we were way past due for a Wonder Woman, big screen. Remember, Warner Brothers owned DC Comics for a long time, since the late 70s. There was never any rights issues. They made problems for themselves by divvying it up and saying, well, we've got Smallville on TV, so we can't have these characters in the movies, and we can't do this with Batman if this is happening with Batman over here. And it was all a jumbled mess. Meanwhile, Marvel Comics Group was going through financial problems and going into bankruptcy. They licensed out, they sold off basically their filming rights to different characters. So when Disney came along and bought up Marvel Comics, they realized they weren't getting the film rights to everything. So this is why you've had, the Hulk tied up with Universal, you had Spider-Man tied up with Sony, you had all the X-Men tied up with 20th Century Fox. Honestly, that's why they bought 20th Century Fox. They wanted to pull in the X-Men and everything. Problem is, they didn't do squat with that, So they did a good job with what they had. Let's face it, that run from First Avenger up through Endgame was brilliant with what they had to work with, and they were slowly trying to get everything back in-house. Meanwhile, DC's like, oh, we got to catch up. So they give us the Snyderverse, which was, I'm sorry, it wasn't Superman. It wasn't Batman as we know it. Wonder Woman in World War I, because they let Marvel beat them to the punch with Captain America, that's their own damn fault. So a lot of things got screwed up on the DC line, and they've never really caught up. So I go back to, I'm a big DC Comics fan. I'm an early Marvel Cinema fan. Not the later stuff, not anything past Endgame. And my comic history with Marvel goes, it's like early 80s Spider-Man up through the early 90s, and that's it. I've got that too. We did a watch party of that on Netters Network. Yep, that was an early attempt at a pilot episode for a Doctor Strange series that never took off. Probably rightly so. I enjoyed it, but it's kind of bad.
All right. Well, I do want to say hello in the chat to Matt Sheetwood.
Hey, Matt.
Hey, Matt.
And we have some Watchmen fans in the chat. Fraggle and Matt.
Loves Watchmen
Fraggle,
too.
favorite character Rorschach. Yeah.
Sure.
I loved for short. Yeah.
I loved Watchmen. The problem is they tried to stretch it beyond what it was. It never should have continued into a series or prequel or any of that stuff. That never should have been done.
No, it didn't need it. The story had been told. I agree.
Yeah.
I think if they were going to do anything else with it, they should have done what I hear they're planning to do with Harry Potter. You reboot it as a series, you know, and you go very, very literally following the graphic novel. Because there's a lot of, I mean, they, you know, I'll give Zack Snyder, he did a pretty darn good job with that movie, but there's a lot of stuff he left out that could definitely go into it. And if you do it right, you could get 3 seasons out of it. And then that's it. That's done. Then you walk away. The story is told.
I'm with you on that one, Troy.
You know? See, I get what you're saying, Darth. It's not everybody's cup of tea, but you can't get away from that element of the story because it's an alternate history. Those geopolitics are necessary to the story.
Mm-hmm.
Mark says Klingon raid on the other side of midnight. Once more under the breach. Kapla Bakjej Me Vishosh.
Reply, Mark Malikoff. And also FKHC 2005, sometimes known as Tim. So you might say hi.
Oh, you're talking to the other Tim.
Yeah, different
Yeah.
Tim, yeah.
Yeah. He is also Tim. We are all Tim. Everybody change your name to Tim right now.
But what's that? What do all those letters stand for? Is that where you went to school?
You know,
Well, you'd have to ask him.
So FKHC 2005 was... Yeah, is that the name of your school and the year you graduated?
The Fighting Kangaroo. I don't know.
Historical Center?
Could
Go
be.
Ruse. Okay, this is the Vietnam scene, ripped off Friday the Valkyrie's needle drop from Apocalypse Now, which I thought was a silly move.
See, I think that was an intentional
Yeah,
pastiche.
yeah, I think it was on purpose. Yeah.
Because there was a lot of cultural touchstones like that. You're supposed to see the differences, but also make connections to what's the same too.
You were right about the kangaroos. Fairfax Kangaroos.
Well, because I
hockey
can see the picture. Fairfax Kangaroos Hockey
Oh, yeah.
Club.
Okay.
All right.
2005. Okay, well that's cool. I didn't
I
know
like
that.
that.
I don't
You
know
gotta
why I never
understand,
thought
I'm
to
half-
ask.
I'm half blind, so you gotta. I can't always see the. The avatars unless they're blown up. Tim Fraggle.
Okay, I see it better now.
Yeah,
It is a
Okay.
kangaroo.
makes sense. Then it stands. Go Ruse. Rumble in the jungle. Long Tall Sally. Yeah. Seems like.
I'm
Mr.
just
Fraggle that went to space.
You know, that is the logical extension for the Uncle Traveling Matt story.
Mm-hmm. Cute series.
They always considered the world outside of Fraggle Rock to be outer space. So outer space would be outer space to us. Oh, that's right. Happy birthday, Bill.
Happy
yes,
birthday,
indeed.
Bill.
Happy
Yeah,
Thank you.
happy
birthday to Bill.
birthday
Thank
to
you.
Outlaw Bill.
Thank you.
JB's
Appreciate that.
Tabernacle. Good to see you.
And he turns the big 52.
Yeah.
52. 52. Hey, 520. All right.
Fraggle Rock versus the one.
One
Take care,
highlight I
Matt
wanted to
Fleetwood.
share from yesterday. Because after 5 years, I got revenge. PDQ there came to say, seems stupid Klingon lines to me. And that's okay. You're just.
Nadevo Yisho Da. I'm too tired to translate that right now.
Okay. All right. I came up with the name Space Fraggle. Go for it. Gotta go. Have a great stream. Good night, man. Yeah, Fraggle Rock versus Watchmen. Well, the Doozers win that. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
I want to see Watchmen versus the Boys.
Oh.
That would be over very quickly.
Well, it depends on where Dr. Manhattan falls on the whole thing.
I am just going to exile myself on the moon. And I'm going to spend half the movie explaining it. 1963, I took a shower. 1954, I tripped over my feet. Anyway, sorry.
Okay, Mark translated for us. He said, "Go away now, Patach." His friends wisely guided him away from me.
Yeah,
and Space
Mark.
Fraggle said, "I played Star Trek Fleet Commander for 4 years, and that was my username." Oh, okay, cool,
Nice.
cool.
Hang on.
Groovy.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Hayes' chair.
Hmm?
Would you care to make a statement? You get Tim, you get the chair. Okay. Yes. That's the thing. Whatever makes you comfortable.
Fire floats on boat.
I am sitting on my couch in a darkened room. It's all good.
and deleted scenes, you're a very interesting character, and you're very based.
Yes.
I am. Oh, thank you.
For a YouTube Ronin.
Yes. It's a rough life. And I will be played by Toshiro Mifune. Never. Okay. Dr. Manhattan was pretty boss.
Sorry.
Yes, he was. Beloved by all. Yeah.
Beloved by all except by your adversaries in the game.
I don't know. Like I said earlier, I'm not really a gamer, and I especially
Yeah.
don't really play any of the online role-playing games or anything, so I'll just take everybody's word for it, you know?
Well, I just got a new video game. Well, new to me anyway. I got the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, so I'm gonna attempt to play that here for
nice.
the next few days. I could broadcast that to YouTube here. So
Bill, have you
gonna see how it goes.
Have you seen or played oh shoot, what's the name of that game? I want to say like Dead by Daylight or something like that. It's a
It's a zombie first for sure. Yeah.
It's a 5-player game. You got 4 people trying to survive against a killer, like like a Jason type character, and one person plays Jason, the other one's playing, the victims, and you're trying to not die.
No, I didn't have it.
I think
I'm
that's
familiar
what
with that
it's called.
one.
Let me look it up. Let me make
I've
sure. I
heard
don't
of it,
want
I
to.
haven't.
I don't want to mislead anybody. Let's see. Yep, I was right.
there's-
Dead by Daylight. Mhm.
Yeah, there's that. There's The Quarry. There's Until Dark. I like Left 4 Dead.
Oh, is that the one with the
zombie? That was a zombie kind of multiplayer. You could play as different characters. You could do multiplayer. I like that one.
That does look good.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I'm a big Star Trek Online player. Been really working on building up the fleet base, getting real close to finishing that. Once I do, it'll free up my, the grind. I won't have to grind so much. So I might start turning back to some of the games I have on Steam. Aged Boomer's gotten me a bunch of games on there that I've been wanting to play. And I just let Netter know that I had picked up, when it was very, very cheap because it was on sale, Portal 1 and 2. And she's interested in that.
Orange Box. I think I have that around here somewhere. Yeah, I got all my games upstairs. I don't have a working... That's another thing, is I don't have a working game console right now.
Mm.
So you should get everything on PC. You've heard the debates between me and Boomer about that, right?
Yeah. Well, the thing is I don't know. I don't know if I don't know if I could how good I would be able to play on the PC. I don't know. I'd have to try it.
The thing about PC is you got a lot more options. You never have to worry about backward compatibility. You could just keep, improving your computer. You don't have to throw it out and buy a new one because, the new PS5 came out or whatever it is.
Oh.
Then you find out it's not backwards compatible, and it doesn't come with a disk drive, and it doesn't come with a base, and
$700. Yeah, right. Yeah.
For that price, you could buy yourself a good PC.
Most game titles today are like $70.
Yeah.
70 to $75. Was it because it came out like a year ago? The Hogwarts Legacy. I kind of want to play that, but I don't want to dish out $70 just to play it. That's a lot of money. $75 is like a quarter of my internet bill by its darn self.
Yeah.
And hello to Philip Gaming.
Philip,
There's a little worry about backwards compatibility with older Windows games.
I am going to get more into the gameplay. I miss gameplay. I got both a PlayStation 5 and an Xbox.
Most of these
and a gaming PC.
Most of these.
So I got it all.
Most of these PC games that I see that are downloadable on Steam and stuff like that, you shouldn't really have any problems with. If it's older stuff like that you have physical media of, yeah, then maybe you might want to make sure you have a legacy computer or whatever, or learn how to work emulators on new systems. By and large, that's an option.
I'm gonna.
Good night, Fraggle.
Take care.
Yeah, good night, Space Fraggle.
I'm gonna get this game called Stray. It's from Cyberpunk. It's with a cat. It's kind of like a horror video game with a cat.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna get that, and I'm gonna test that out. So.
Oh, the Stray.
Yeah.
Yeah. That looked like fun. I saw some people play that. That's a fun one.
Boomer bought me a game called Goat Simulator. That game is you play as a goat, and you're loose in a residential area.
Nice.
And there's no indication what you're supposed to be doing, but you can headbutt things and destroy things, and you accumulate what are those called in games? Achievements. You just suddenly realize you've gained an achievement for clobbering someone or climbing somewhere or finding something secret or whatever.
Phil says Stray isn't horror but looks cool. Have it on PS5. Well, it's post-apocalyptic. I think, is the idea, not necessarily per se horror. Other than the fact that you have to save the world, but you're a cute little kitty cat. So, like, would Endgame have been better if the cat took out Thanos? I don't know. Maybe. No? Moving on. Okay.
Next.
Next. All right. Anywho. Cats with tentacles. Why?
Yeah, why?
Why? Like so many things about the MCU. Why? I don't know. I don't. I just chalk it all up to they do a lot of cocaine.
That's
Partly.
probably as good an answer as any.
But yeah, I mean, like I was saying earlier, I'm not really so much a gamer or into it anymore. I'd rather just play the old school games and be done with it. It was always more my speed anyway.
Nothing
Nah.
wrong with that.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
No, I just not really. I didn't see it, so.
Which Captain Marvel we talking about? The real one or the one that Marvel created?
LOTR, MCU. I don't know. They both need work right now.
Yes, they do.
Based on what I've been hearing about that Rings of Power, I haven't watched that either. So
Rings of poop.
Yeah.
okay, fair enough. I'm just to the point with a lot of these shows where I would just prefer to watch everybody's video about them, and just. I wasn't including ROP. No, I didn't think so. The Cheese film, 2019. I did see that one, yeah. Not really very memorable, honestly.
Oh, incidentally, I was able to use that gift card finally.
Oh,
I had
nice.
to call the place.
Well, I'm glad you.
So
I
got my birthday pie.
Nice,
Cool.
excellent. Where from?
Oh, Papa John's.
Oh, right on. Cool. Right on. Well, I'm going to be right behind you here on the whole 52 thing. Just next year,
Yeah,
Next
your
year will
birthday's in what? May?
June. June.
June?
I am June 20th. I'm literally right in the middle of the year,
Yeah.
which always makes every year feel like 2 years to me.
Yeah, mine's always the 9th.
Yeah.
9/29.
And David saying, "Yeah, I've been screwed by the gift cards more than once." Yeah, I don't. Unless it's somebody I've dealt with in the past, I
this
don't really
was
mess around with gift cards all that
Visa
much.
gift. This was a Visa gift card.
Mm.
So I think I still have some money on it. It
Mm-hmm.
was $50, and I only spent like 41, so I got like maybe $9 left on it.
Yes. Cool.
That's a good one.
Well, I'm glad you got that sorted, man, because
I was it's like,
yeah, you were starting to
Gift cards
lose
don't
it.
work.
This is not working.
I was almost to the point where, yeah, I was like, "Do you want me to call them?" And it's just like, "The fuck am I going to do?" You know, I don't know. Could you like turn on my friend's gift card, please? Who are you? I am the CEO of Visa. Just do it. You know, it's like no. I don't know. Floods, politicians, the gaming industry.
Oh, and speaking of politicians, I think I read on Twitter that Gruesome Newsom ended up vetoing that AI bill.
Oh, did he?
Hmm.
I guess they
Yeah.
didn't pay him off enough, huh?
Yeah, it was a hotly debated AI bill, so I think...
Hotly debated among Fran Drescher, you know.
Yeah, I think he's doing a real lot of weird stuff. There's a lot... It seems like he's vetoing a lot of stuff that he's passing some stuff just because it's election season. And
Well, they all do it.
yeah, but this is stuff
That's the
he
thing.
normally would have... This is stuff he either would have passed or he would have vetoed. Or he's vetoing stuff he normally would pass, and then he's passing stuff he would have normally just vetoed.
Well, yeah, you're there. You're kind of our man on the West Coast there. You know, you have your kind of ear to the ground to this sort of thing. So, I mean, you know, all right, I'll just ask. You know, what are you seeing? I mean, are certain things that are in the media being overhyped, underreported?
I don't really watch the news anymore. Aside from I'll occasionally watch Newsmax because I'll watch a little bit of Fox News, but that's about it because everything else is just bullshit.
He's not wrong.
Yeah. I mean, you know, and somebody I forgot who it was, but it was somebody in our community or fellowship, whatever you want to say, who brought this up on Twitter the other day. He says, like, I watched the news for an hour and didn't hear anything newsworthy. Everything was opinion based. And I went, you guys are supposed to be news organizations. Report the news fairly and without bias, and then you let us decide. That's what you're supposed to be doing. It's none of this, you know, opinion garbage, which is why I've made the big deal over the last few weeks on Unscripted of saying, this is my opinion, and you don't necessarily have to agree. This isn't a news show. You know, this is me ranting for, 45 minutes to an hour. But when you're supposed to be reporting the news, we don't want a sidebar, okay? And I'm talking to you, Joy Reid. I'm talking to you, Joe Scarborough. I'm talking to you, Keith Olbermann. And I am talking to Sean Hannity as well.
Yep.
Okay, because both sides are guilty of this.
Sean Hannity and his CIA pin on his lapel. Yeah.
So I can understand not wanting to watch the news because it's not really the news anymore, is it? You got to go to these alternate sources.
It is, because the fact that we still have a First Amendment in this country allows us to have alternative, in quotes, alternative news sources, because so-called mainstream media has become nothing but propaganda.
Mm.
And again, propaganda is not telling you what's happening, it's telling you what to believe.
Mm-hmm.
Notion of the news was supposed to give the common folk a voice that's alternative to the state. Yep.
So keep in mind that when the First Amendment says the freedom of speech and the freedom of the press, that doesn't mean media conglomerates that own newspapers and outlets. Back in the day, it didn't even mean the printing press. It meant you had the right as an individual to do what our founding fathers did, publish pamphlets and hand them out, to create your own newspaper if you so chose. There was to be no restrictions by the government on your ability to communicate with your fellow citizens. It will eventually, David. I really believe there is coming a day when there is going to be a legal reckoning. It's already happening with YT's parent company. There's gonna, and I think under a different administration, we're gonna see a lot of antitrust movement against big companies that are effectively preventing smaller companies from engaging in the free market. The Rumble versus YouTube case is one to really keep an eye on.
Fan repressed me freedom of being arrested by the state and visited Potsdam, Frederick the Great through being into jail. Yeah.
Yep, Voltaire, right.
Media. It's been doing that since forever, happening World War I, earlier than that in other countries. Yeah.
That's why it's incumbent on the citizen to understand it. In fact, I remember when I was in school, they taught you to evaluate sources, to compare sources, to get many different perspectives, and remember that even after you've evaluated a source, you have to keep reevaluating a source to check their bias. Basically, we were taught to be critical thinkers, and that's not what the educational system is doing any longer. Now they want you to just conform.
True. Yeah, I mean, this is why I say you have to go to alternate sources. You know, go to Newsmax, Agenda Free TV. Steve Lookner, you know, I can't tell what his politics are by doing that show because he just straight up reports the news. And if he can't confirm it, he doesn't go on with it. You know?
We need good
I find his
investigative
channel
journalists
fascinating.
like O'Keefe Media Group.
We do, yes.
You know, that used to be the thing. You used to have investigative journalists. We have none of that anymore.
Who's to say the
Bad.
alternate sources aren't whacked either? Some of them are, and I stay away from those. But you know, if I find a source that seems to be on the level, and I found a couple here, I'll stick to those.
Mm-hmm.
And if they go out of line, I'll say something, or I'll just unsubscribe.
Yep.
You know, we have that choice still. You know, I mean, that's kind of a problem here on YouTube. You know, it's just that if you don't like a channel, nobody says you have to watch,
True.
or you know, or that you have to subscribe.
Mhm.
You know, if you think somebody's a woke shill, don't just sit there and keep watching the channel and being an asshole in their comments. Just don't watch.
Right.
Mhm.
Go find something else. You know, and if the other way is true, these people who complain about Nerd Erotic or Critical Drinker, you know, they're not going to notice you're not there.
True.
They got millions of subscribers. You think they care about you? If you don't like their channel, just go. It's like I always say, you know, don't tell me you're leaving. Just leave.
Yeah.
They always
You
do
know,
that.
Airport. You don't have to announce
Yeah,
departures.
they always do it on Retro Blasting's channel.
Yeah.
They'll act like it's an airport.
Yep.
Okay, don't go. You know, it's like, you know, how many times during an episode of Western Cinema Presents or Action Theater do Bill or I say, we can't show you the movie because it's not public domain? You know, but yet we'll always get people in the comments, oh, this is clickbait because they're not, this isn't the movie. You know, it's like, hey,
Dumbass.
asshole. You know, we put commentary only in the fucking title. If you don't get it, I cannot help you. You know, if reading comprehension is an issue, go back to school. You know,
That too.
I'm going to have your channel shut down. You know, I'm like, for following, you're going to shut down my channel for following YouTube's guidelines.
Yeah.
Okay, good luck with that. And oh, by the way, thank you for helping my algorithm out while you're commenting.
Right.
You know, so thank you for supporting my channel. Well done. You know, but you get that. You know, there are good people in media. Just pay attention. Yeah, there are. Yeah, you know, and I will point them out when I see them. You know. Think that could work with the Star Wars fandom. If you don't like Disney Star Wars, don't buy tickets. I mean, yeah. I mean, you know, Disney Star Wars, I'm not interested in that. Rogue One was okay, but that's it, as far as I'm concerned. So I don't make the big deal out of watching. I've had people try and talk me into watching Andor. Maybe I will, maybe I won't. But you know,
yeah, I have a feeling you're going to be bored with that show, though.
I probably will be, but you know, I have always looked at it this way. It's like, hey, if you dig it, great. If you don't have to watch it. It's just that simple. And what I'm seeing in the Star Wars fandom over the last few years has just been, we're seeing a bunch of overgrown children, and I'm kind of done with it. And I've walked away from Star Wars. I could care less about it now. Disney can do whatever they want with it if you want. If it's going to be about space witches, just fine, you know, and it's going to be the thread instead of the Force, and all of the Jedi are acting like morons, you know, just go with it. You know, if you dig that, fine. I don't. That's me. It's my personal opinion.
Yeah, well, I think they went woke and they went broke, so I think they're out of other people's money now, so I don't think there's much else they can do.
Mm-hmm. I like to tell people at work when they walk out, don't let the door hit you on the way out. Yeah. Or go to theme parks. I'm not the authority on theme parks.
Yeah.
I go to other channels to pay attention to that, but it sounds like the theme parks aren't doing all that well right now either. your channel is not good. I'm going to get you banned. Yeah. Yeah. People will tell you that.
Well, there was
David says,
one YouTube channel that was getting people banned from Instagram. Diaper Island was getting people kicked off of Instagram. So now I've had to make sure that my Instagram is set to private and that I have to approve of people following me.
Oh, I don't mess around with Instagram too much. I'm on it, but you know, it's a lot of bots. They're going to end up like Truth Social did. There's just too many bots. Dave says
there's
Andor
bots on
at best.
There's bots on Twitter, I think, still.
Yeah, there's still a lot of bots.
Yeah,
still there.
Not as many as Instagram, though.
What's odd is I will see bot accounts liking my videos and occasionally sending me, and following me. But I'm like, what is the point of that? I really don't understand. It used to be, though, that bots would start conversations and get into arguments, and I don't see that happening anymore. There's still plenty of trolls.
Oh yeah, well, trolls are one thing, bots are something else. Trolls you can deal with. You can just, you can ban them if you have to, but which fortunately for me is something I've only had to do twice, but still, Darth Plato going back to him says, I like Andor. Consider boring is not an objective critique. Well, if it's dull, it's dull.
Yeah, boring can be an objective critique.
I thought Silent Night was boring because I don't like action movies that wait until like the last 15 minutes to do something. And I'm let me put it this way, maybe boring is too strong. How about pedestrian? In place of boring. But as for Andor, I haven't seen it. I don't know. I've heard people say they like it, others don't. That's fine. It seems to be the better reviewed of the Disney shows out of all of them. Mm-hmm. So, I think that says something. It does stem from Rogue One, which, as far as I'm concerned, is the best of the Disney Star Wars films, even though it has a lot of problems, in my opinion, again. Boring can't be gainsaid, just there's nothing to do with it. All right. Even Mando just overstayed its welcome. I don't know. I didn't watch it after season 2. And based on what I've heard, I didn't miss much.
Well, that's just because they fired Gina Carano, and she was fired. I don't care what anybody says. Oh, her contract was... No, she was fired.
Andor starts out slow. It's an interesting buildup of an awful human being ending up in rebellion. Okay, fair enough. Don't judge Andor compared to Book of Boba Fett or Acolyte. Well, okay.
Well, no, because Boba Fett is Book of Bubba Fett.
Okay, here's where I can break this down. Again, haven't seen Andor, didn't watch The Acolyte past the first episode. Book of Boba Fett I did watch, and I watched it start to finish. And I was actually with that show for a while. And then when it became Mandalorian season 2.5, when it basically it's like they lost faith in the story they were telling.
See, I read it a little bit differently. I took it as there was a clear struggle behind the scenes for who was going to lead that story. And too many cooks inevitably spoil the broth.
Night, y'all.
And Netter's going to bed.
Good night, Netter.
Night, Netter.
Machete showing up at the high point. That was cool seeing him there. Yeah, that was a nice little look. I kind of wish he was in more of the show, to be honest.
And that's where I get into saying, the fan theories and whatnot are wonderful, but they are inevitably better than what we actually get from the show. There was this idea that we were going to get something like a Star Wars version of The Godfather out of Boba Fett. And that those elements clearly were there, but there just weren't the writing chops to follow through on it. And they lost their way. They got all tied up with, space Vespas and cyborgs and, I don't know what all. Not to mention the other inherent problem that these streaming shows have is a mandate to bulk up the show. So the pacing is all effed. A story that should be told in 2 hours in a film takes 10 episodes, 10 hours of show on their streaming service. So you get these long scenes of people walking in the hallways not saying anything. You pay attention to the way Star Wars films are. And when people are walking and talking, there's very important dialogue happening. And single lines tell you whole swatches of story. Yeah, filler.
Yeah. Plato's saying Book of Boba Fett was Saturday morning cartoons. Andor took care of verisimilitude, has good characterization, there's legit criticism. Yeah.
I've seen some people saying about Andor that even if you're not a Star Wars fan, it's good from the perspective of the way rebellions start, against a dictatorial government. The politics, the logistics, and it's really well written and well thought out. Not that I've seen a single episode of it myself.
Book of Boba Fett was hobbled from the beginning. Why would Fett want to have Jabba's job? I don't know. Couldn't tell you honestly.
Well, what would you have him doing? What would you like to see a 50-some-year-old, Jango Fett clone doing? There comes a point where he's got to start thinking about, do I want to keep being the foot soldier all my life, or do I want to start being the general?
And Darth Plato says, a lot of the criticism of Andor comes from stuff like there's no Jedi or lightsabers. I don't think you need them. I'll tell you that straight up. I don't think every Star Wars a TV show or movie needs to be about or have any Jedi or have any lightsabers. It doesn't have to be about that. I can understand making what's essentially a spy film in the middle of a Star Wars universe. That makes sense. I always thought that if I ever had the chance to do a Star Wars movie, I would do the story that Rogue One did. I would have done it in a far different way than what they did. But I was always fascinated with that story. Even though we know how it ends, we know that, the guys who went in to steal the Death Star plans, they all died. Or at least most of them did. And I was always like, what a great, Dirty Dozen via Ian Fleming type story in the Star Wars universe. No Jedi, no lightsabers, foot soldiers on the line doing a job.
I'll tell you one quote that pretty much sums it up.
Okay.
Kid, I've flown from one side of the galaxy to the other, and I've seen a lot of strange stuff, but I've never seen anything to make me believe there's one all-powerful force controlling everything. There's no mystical energy field controlling my destiny. Han Solo had not seen any Jedi in his experience. So that tells me and if you keep in mind too, we're talking about a time period between Clone Wars and Episode 4. So there is a whole generation of people who never saw a damn Jedi. So if you set a story in that time period, don't expect to see any Jedi besides Darth Vader.
Yeah.
And again, I'm going to say about Boba Fett. Can you imagine a man with no name at 53 years old still going around being getting into scrapes in the middle of the street? No, he's dead. That's the end of his story, and we move on. If the story continues, he better grow up and start doing something besides, shootouts in the middle of the street.
Darth Plato's saying, honestly, he thinks I would like Andor. Like I said, I may get around to it. I'm not like in a huge hurry, but I tell you, if I do see it, I'll watch it straight through and I'll give an honest critique. I just can't say when that's going to be. But I've had enough people whose opinions I respect say they like it. So that's enough to make me sit up and take notice. Pokey religions and ancient weapons are no match for a good blaster. No. All right. Well, it's about that time. I did set a specific time for when we were going to end a show. We've gone a little bit past that, but that's fine. Let's go once around the horn. Troy, what do you have coming up?
Yep. So, looking at the time, later tonight, Monday night at the movies, starting at 8 Central, Arachnophobia, followed by Kingdom of the Spiders. And you guys know how that goes. I'll have the Cosme link for you to watch along with us, but, yep. So that is Monday night. Tuesday night, I'll be hanging out with Deleted Scenes for his Twin Peaks stream. He'll tell you all about that. But then immediately after, let's say about 9:30 Central, episode 3 of Blake 7, Cygnus Alpha. I've had a lot of people say they've really been enjoying that. People that have never seen Blake 7 before, people that are revisiting Blake 7. It's been a lot of fun. Thursday, I'll be over on Netter's Network for Thursday Things. I'm drawing a blank. Who the guest was? Darkwood, something or other.
Yeah, I think
I'm
it's
sorry.
Darkwood Presents. Yeah.
Darkwood Presents. Thanks. I'm getting tired, so I'm having a hard time remembering. But then Friday evening, 9 Central on my channel. Last Call. This week we will be talking zombie movies. Boomer and I come up with 5 each. So our top 10 zombie films. I think a lot of them are going to be ones you've never heard of before. So maybe take notes. You might want to check out some of those. I may get a little bit into some of the background and history of zombie lore. So that's this Friday. And then, Saturday, Big Al Presents Films with Friends. The Birds at 9 o'clock. I'll be guest hosting over there. And of course, that brings us around to Sunday for Geeky Geezers at 8 o'clock. Me and Aged Boomer bringing you the news of the week, the geeky news. And that's all I got.
All right.
Cool.
Connie.
I'm still doing the Wednesdays and Friday movies. I'm doing a Vincent Price movie. Haven't decided on which one. Still working on some of my videos still. And that's it for me this week.
All right. Tim.
Yeah, I don't do live streams anymore, but I have a few new videos up. I have one. Well, I did that Frankenstein physical media update, which was like 88-minute video, and then recently, and then I've got a video which is half of it's Star Wars toys, the other half is just physical media. And then I did one more on Star Wars toys, but that led into some custom Star Wars action figures.
Bill.
Bill?
What is coming up for your channel, sir?
Bill?
You still with us, Bill?
Bill?
Yep.
What's coming up for your channel? We're ending the show.
Just the usual and some surprises here and there. We've got Action Theater on Thursday, by Don Zerlite with the great James Earl Jones. And Western Cinema on Sunday. I don't know which film, but we'll find one. We'll find something. Thank you.
All right. That brings it around to me. And let's see. Tomorrow night at approximately 10 p.m. I will be joined by if all goes to plan, I will be joined by Off the Cover and Kyle Horwith for the Mystery Movie Night podcast.
Ooh.
We'll be discussing the Monday Mystery Movie. Mystery Movie if you're at the Regal. Seen, Unseen, or whatever they call it if you're at the AMC. And let's see, Tuesday, of course, we'll be live from Sparkwood 21, where we will be watching episode 14 of The Return. Thursday night, of course, will be the weekend update, where I will let everybody know what I'm going to be doing for next week. So those are the next few shows that are on my list. And of course, stay tuned my community page. Those of you who are members of the channel, stay tuned, because there's going to be some members only stuff coming up.
Cool.
And yeah, that's it. And yes, Chris Christopherson did pass today, sadly, and I'm sure there's going to be an in memoriam coming up on Geeky Geezers, I would think.
Yep.
Very multi-talented man, singer, songwriter, actor, Vietnam veteran. So, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right. All right. So, does anybody have any last words before we put tonight's show to bed?
Thank you for having us on tonight.
Yeah, thanks for having us on.
It's always a
for,
great way to end the weekend.
Exactly.
And thank you all for taking the time out of your schedules to come on.
Mm-hmm.
And so
He means sleep schedule.
Sleep? What's that?
Yeah, exactly.
All right. So that's it, folks. That is episode 70 of The Other Side of Midnight. I would like to thank everyone who joined us tonight on Twitter. I can't see you, but I know that you're there. I'd like to thank everybody who joined us here in the chat. Darth Plato, Mark Malnikoff, David Quintana, scrolling up because I don't want to miss anybody. Philip Productions. I'm sorry, Philip Gaming. Space Fraggle, Matt Sheetwood, JP's Tabernac, FKHC 2005, sometimes known as Tim. Netter's Network, of course, for hanging out in the background. DJ Ronnie G, Joe's Atmosphere, Daniel Barry Sports Highlights, Sifty Jism, Gorilla's Random Thoughts, D. Penzak, Logical Spark, Cyberpunk Dystopia, all right, John Doe Juggalo, and JPRPH1. All right, folks, from HQ and all points north, south, east, west, and beyond, good night, take care, stay strong, be safe, because this is how we win.